could literally house that whole coffee, despite how hot it is. I could literally like chug the whole thing. I will not though, because it's kind of gross. I think I'm gonna go for a hike today because the weather, 0 rain in the forecast. There was supposed to be rain off and on all day, which kind of has been happening all week long. It's been like kind of crazy rain all week. Like the ditch in my backyard has been like flooding kind of rain. Not flooding like in a scary, it's gonna attack my house kind of way, but just like lot more rain than usual. So yeah, let's pack up my stuff. So this is one of like 3 plein air kits I have. Little Patagonia bag. I like it. It looks like a little avocado. It's got this small pocket here. I can usually attach like my water bottle or like my little camping chair or whatever. And it's got a big pocket here that has 2 little sections. I can show you everything in it later, but I have 3 kits. My big plein air easel, which is heavy. I don't always want to carry it, especially if I'm gonna like hike far or walk a lot, or it's like super hot outside. I don't want to be carrying this gigantic, probably like 10, 20 pound thing. In addition to other things that I need for that, like umbrella and my stool and water and etc. So that's usually like somewhere I can drive up and not walk too far, or drive up and immediately set it up. And then I have a smaller one. I have a bagoo, which is more like markers, pens, that kind of thing, more for like a coffee shop or like travel. And then this one has gouache, it has watercolor, it has neo colors, it has color pencils. I have a lot more stuff in this one. It doesn't look like it can hold super duper much, but I can hold a good amount in here. And it has like 2 or 3 different sketchbooks. I am gonna put these little scrap pieces of paper I have in here in case I want to do some like more finished looking drawings today. My biggest dilemma when I think I'm gonna do this kind of thing, like I thought about it all last night and I thought, where should I go? What should I do? And then I just get kind of overwhelmed with like decision fatigue, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I could pack up my bike and go for a long bike ride and plein air lots of different parts of the city, go a little bit further out on the trail and do more nature stuff, and then go in towards downtown and do more like urban stuff. But then I'm like, oh, but then I have to pack up my whole bike, and I decided not to do that last night. Another decision I usually have to make is, do I want to go to a nature area and walk a nature area and like a nice super secluded kind of hike, or do I want to go walk downtown along the Riverwalk and like Hemisphere Park, and then I can pop in somewhere and get lunch or coffee, and then I could people watch, and then also have a lot more things to draw that are not just nature, but I could find nature if I need to find nature. And then, but then I'm like, oh, but I probably have to pay for parking, even if it's like a cheap parking, because I know where the cheap parking is. And then another decision is like, yeah, do I want to go set up my easel? Or another decision is, do I want to just go to a park and like set up there's like a park not far from here that has like nice water, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could like set up my easel and like grill like a little thing on one of the grills, bring my cast iron, do some like tacos for lunch or something. I get such a decision fatigue over what to do. And it's almost 8 o'clock, so I need to make a decision now. We'll figure it out. Okay, verdict's out. Just in case it does rain, I brought my easel and was just gonna drive around to different spots. I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing. I don't feel like hiking today. Just in case it does rain, I have an option to quickly get out, you know. Might get eaten up by bugs, but we shall see. think I might be getting bitten by chiggers, so I'm gonna pack up, call this one done, finish it later, and maybe find another spot. I don't know. You know, the forecast be lying. Says it was going to be a lot sunnier than it is today, and it's just like pretty muggy. It's not super ideal, so I think I'm actually going to go home, eat a little breakfast, and finish that piece at home, which I will show you, obviously. You know, sometimes that's the thing with plein air. You expect the weather to be one way, and then it doesn't, and then you don't get any light, and you get bitten by bugs. And sometimes that is worth at least getting the base down for a piece. Like I got the drawing and I got the underpainting done, because, you know, working with a live subject using just your eyes versus working from a photo or a screen is way different, and it's a great tool for artists to practice both, but doing it live, seeing the object with the light changing and with my naked eye is so important to me sometimes when I'm working, and I need to do that every once in a while, and so I'm glad I did this. I haven't done a plein air in a hot minute, so okay, gonna go home. Yeah, I'm getting bit. Probably need to go wash my legs when I get home, just in case it is chiggers. Oh no. Oh no. Of course, as soon as I get home, on the 20-minute drive it took to get home, it starts being so sunny. Whatever. It's Sunday, I'm so determined to just stay home now, so I'm not mad about it. I went upstairs, I scrubbed the crap out of my legs, just in case they were chiggers on my legs. I know that's like a thing in the South. I don't know if everywhere has chiggers, but it's like sometimes after it rains, or if you're in like a little bit too tall of grass or brush, there's these little bugs called chiggers that they don't bite, but they get on your legs, and I think in your pores, they plant their larvae, and that's what makes you like really, really itchy. It's not bites that makes you itchy, it's their larvae in your skin, which is so fucking gross. Oh my god, Finny has to pee so bad. Yeah, okay, so I feel a little better about that. It might have just been gnats because I was next to water, you know. So, I'm gonna prop myself up probably on the dining table today. I don't feel like going and cleaning my art table. It is a wreck. And watch some TV, and I'll kind of talk you through the process of what I'm thinking when I take a piece from outside, bring it home or into the studio, and finish it here. So, let me set up my space. Okay, let's talk about the parts I do like. I'm gonna use stuff from this bag, so it's gonna end up being mixed media, which is fine. I like doing that. I'm gonna talk about the things I like and don't like and wanna change. So, I really, really like how I left this white to show that the light is coming this way, because there's this big dramatic shadow, which I did get like a photo of it. It only peeked through maybe once or twice while I was out there. So I have a photo of it to reference. But a lot of the times when I take these home, I kind of just, unless there's like a whole big background I forgot to draw or something, I usually don't use the photo that I take, but I always take one just in case. I like just kind of going from memory. So yeah, I really like the light is really bright right here. And I love the texture I made with the dark, and then like showing where the bark is kind of, you know, like trees bark kind of twists sometimes. So I like how, especially the trees here in Texas, I like how I did that. I like that I blocked in all the really dark spots with like this nice little purple. I might just go in where these two separate pieces are and darken this just slightly more, just so they get separated here too. And I really like this little spot. This is just where the brush was a little dry, but it looks like a bark sort of texture. So I'm going to absolutely use that to my advantage. I have a little bit here too. The grass is very underwhelming. There's not much going on. So I'm definitely gonna fix that. And the water, I totally forgot about it until the last minute. So I'm gonna fix that too. Not loving the leaves. They definitely need some work, but I think I can get this to where I want it to be. I'm not sure about a background yet, if I will do one or not. So we'll see once this is all kind of done what I want to do about a background. We've got the tools. So in this little Big Bud pouch that I have in my plein air bag, sorry, what a crazy angle, I have all of these color pencils and a few of these, what brand is this? Called Sailor Shikiori brush and fine point markers. Oh my god, please show it. Okay, whatever. I have a few of those in there. And then, obviously, pencil sharpener. Let's get to work. Okay, because I live in a place, I live in Texas, a place that is hot and very bright. I usually like to use these like neon Prismacolors, this pink, this yellow, and this orange. I think they have like a lime green, but I don't use it very often. I think they have like a purple one too, but I also don't use that. These three are like, they will change your art. So especially, yeah, if you live in somewhere sunny, even though it wasn't sunny when I did this, it is crazy bright right now. I like to take the parts, you know that part that I was saying was really bright? I like taking this and doing like a simple little outline. And especially if you throw this yellow onto some green, that green will just like illuminate. So these are like kind of like secrets to getting really good lighting if you're into making pencil drawings or like mixed media. I forgot to say that the base of this is all just gouache. So if I want to get some water and lift some stuff out or move some stuff around, I can do that. It's not acrylic gouache where it just dries completely. It's just regular gouache where everything can be reactivated again, kind of like watercolor. So I can do that if I want. I don't imagine I will, but I have the option to do that. And this is watercolor paper too. So it will be able to handle extra water. Okay, let's go in with this pencil. Okay, see how it like, this is already like kind of popping off the page. I just usually use this yellow. I don't use it a lot. I like to use it sort of sparingly, because if I overuse it, then it just becomes this like neon friggin' nightmare. And that's not what I'm going for. I'm trying to just show that it's like brightest in these areas and then pull out some of the stuff from the darker spots. See how like when you throw that yellow, it's so hard to see on the camera. That yellow really helps the green kind of shine. See how like it's like an olivey sort of green here, and then that's where the pencil sits on top. So it really helps like build the greens. That's why I don't buy that lime green Prismacolor, because like it's just too like unnaturally lime green. And I know this yellow is not natural either, but it helps the green really like come alive almost, you know? So I think I'm gonna throw a little bit back here, because it's showing that like this part was in the sun. I'll have to play with this a lot more, but this was a little bit bright too, I remember. See, I'm just picking up the pieces that I like remember. I'm not fully getting bogged down if it looks like the scene or not, because y'all weren't there. Nobody else was there to be like, hey, that looks wrong. That looks like not what it was like. That's kind of like the beauty of plein air too, is you can just kind of make shit up, and who's gonna tell you that tree didn't actually look like that? You know what I mean? I guess unless somebody goes out and takes the piece and compares it, but I ain't letting somebody do that. Okay, let's talk about dark colors. I do not use black. Black it tends to be too much. I think I have one though. No, I actually don't even have a black in this bag. Wait, is this black? Okay, I do have a black, but I know it's short, but I don't use it a lot. I use it mostly when I'm doing like more cartoony illustrative type work where I like need just like a cartoon black outline, you know, like Ed and Eddie style. But when I'm doing these plein airs, I try not to use black as much as possible. The only time I will probably use black is like in that same little spot I showed you where I'm trying to separate this light from the dark, and I will just do the thinnest little line. That's about it. But the tools I do use a lot for dark areas, Prismacolor, Indigo Blue, and what is this one? Violet Blue. These are the two I probably use the most. I do use this green a little bit. What is this one? Peacock green. For like, obviously like the leaves. But those are like the darkest things I use. I don't, typically use anything else. Just indigo blue and purple. And that's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna go darken these areas a little bit more, and I'm gonna lock in a little bit and then check back in and talk about what I've done. First thing though, I'm definitely gonna darken this shadow just to show that this was lighter than the shadow being put off by the tree. Okay, locking in. Shadows going in. I have the darker spots of the tree plugged in. Now I'm just starting to like build out the grass. I have lots of great different types of greens going on. I'm trying to just build more of the shadows on the bottom and leave, I think I'm gonna leave the tops kind of how they are. Maybe going with a little bit of orange or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this either. Maybe a lighter blue to build these out just so they look like they're further away. Just because, see how these are a lot like a deeper kind of limey green, and then this is more of like a sagey. I want it to feel like these are further away, and then a lot darker over here because they were a lot closer to me. That's how you build depth with the piece, is like the pieces closer to you are a lot darker, the things further away are a little bit lighter, so that they kind of look like they fade into the distance. Just like when you're taking a photo, the things closer to you are going to be a lot more bold, and then things further away are going to be blurrier. So that's what I'm trying to build up with this. Also added some like wispy little tree branches, not too many. The hard part about doing a tree is that you can really get lost in trying to draw every single branch, and you really have to like single it down to just like the main ones. Maybe go in with some of these later, but you can't choose every single branch, otherwise it's just gonna look like a friggin' mess. So that's part of plein air technique, is like figuring out what to include, what to get rid of. Like there was also a big tree behind this, like a huge fat one, but I chose not to do that. I wanted to just focus on this because I liked the composition and then the shadow. So see, I'm not even gonna add that tree in the background like while I'm doing this. I kind of like how it's empty over here, just to really focus on this part of the tree. Yeah, pretty happy with the grass and the ground. So taking the orange, I'm gonna add a few little details in the bark, just on the spots where the sun is coming in. I'm not gonna add it anywhere else. I just want it to feel kind of like hot, even though it wasn't. I'm evoking the feeling of it being hot, because it definitely will be very, very soon. I just know it. Thankfully it rained so much this week, so the weather's been kind of nice. Yeah, see, I'm only doing it where the brightest part is coming out. I might do one little spot right here. Yeah, just to like, see how it kind of pulls it. There was light coming this way, so maybe just like, it'll pull it out just slightly. Make it kind of glow. I like that. That looks good. All right, I think it's done. Pretty proud of it. Yeah, I don't think it needs a background. I feel like everything's pretty well balanced and good values if I squint my eyes. I went in and finished these leaves. I feel like a lot of the time when I do leaves, I don't actually build the actual shapes of them, like how I did all these kind of like triangle-y sort of shapes. I tend to just kind of make a big blob where all the leaves are, and then leave like a little space for where the sky comes through. But yeah, I think that's pretty good. So thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along. Hope you learned something, and if you didn't, that's fine. Maybe go out and make some art today. If it's a nice day, utilize that. Go get some vitamin D. Like and subscribe or whatever. Glad to be back. Peace.